Hi everybody, Mrs. Temple here. What we're going to be going through today in Algebra One Quadratics is going to be the first of a two-day lesson with factoring. So in the first example, it's asking us to factor an expression. An expression just basically means it does not have an equal sign. And we notice that looking at this, there's a total of 3 terms. Whenever we have 3 terms for factoring and our coefficient in front of the x squared was a 1, there's basically almost a little puzzle that we were trying to solve. We were looking to come up with 2 numbers that would multiply to give us the number that was on the outside. In this case, this is going to be the 10. So as I'm saying multiply to get the outside number, it's the number that's furthest to the right. So I'm looking for 2 numbers that would multiply to give me 10. And the same 2 numbers have to add to give me the inside number. The number on the inside of the problem is going to be a 7. So I'm looking for those same 2 numbers to add to give me the inside number of 7. The easiest thing to do is really just to start listing factors of 10. So what 2 things multiply to give me 10? I have 1 and 10. I have 2 and 5. I'm looking to figure out which pair would not only multiply to give me 10, but would add or subtract to give me 7. So 1 plus 10, not going to work. 1 minus 10, not going to work. Really, any order of that is never going to give me a 7, so I know that this pair is out. If I look at 2 and 5 and I add them together, that will give me 7. So I know this is the pair that I want. Whenever you come up with your 2 numbers, remember both lines to multiply to get 10 and to add to get 7, they have to be the same numbers and same signs. So 2 times 5 gives me 10, 2 plus 5 gives me 7. When you get to this point, what we're going to do is to go ahead and write our answer. And our answer is going to be 2 binomials. It's going to start off where in the first term in each binomial is always going to just be an x. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our numbers that we came up with on the top, which are 2 and 5, and we're simply going to go ahead and plug these in. So x plus 2 and x plus 5. The order that you do this will not matter. So if instead you had an answer of x plus 5 and x plus 2, that is absolutely fine. One thing you can do with factoring, it's really just the reverse of multiplying the 2 binomials, or what we know better as foiling. So you could go off to the side and take your first, which is x times x, or x squared. You could go to the outside, 5 times x, which is going to give us 5x. You could go to the inside, 2 times x, or 2x. And I could go to my last, 2 times 5, and I can get 10. And what I could do for this is I can combine those like terms, and this is something we did several weeks ago, and I can notice this is exactly what I started with, so it's a way that you can check your answer. Do you have to do it? No, but again, especially since you guys are going to be working on some multiple choice, it's a way to help you figure out which answer is correct. For the second example, it's really just the same idea of trying to factor, except for now we're noticing one of the terms we're trying to get to is going to be a negative number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for 2 numbers that are going to multiply to give me the outside number. Again, the number on the outside is 24, but because it's negative, I have to make sure I incorporate that negative into the problem. The same 2 numbers have to add to give me the inside number of 2. Again, a lot of you in class would get this right away, and some of you would list down the factors, and I really do think that's a smart idea. So we're trying to come up with factors of 24. So we got 1 and 24. I can come up with 2 and 12. I could do 3 and 8. I could do 4 and 6. So I'm trying to multiply to get a 24. Remember, negative. So one of these numbers has to be negative, and I'm trying to add to get a 2. Will 1 and 24 ever add or subtract to get me a 2? No. 2 and 12? No. Can I ever take 3 plus 8, 3 minus 8, any form of that to get a 2? No, so let's hope the last one works. I have 4 and 6. I'm trying to add them to get a 2, so which one would have to be negative? The smaller number, since I'm adding to get a positive number. So negative 4 times 6 will give me negative 24, and negative 4 plus 6 will give me 2. So once I come up with those 2 numbers, I fill in the blanks. But then remember, your answer is 2 binomials. So for my first binomial, I go ahead and I write down an x as my first term. Same thing with the second. And then the 2 numbers that I come up with are going to get put into as the second term. Remember, the ordering doesn't matter, so x plus 6 and x minus 4 would be just as good of an answer. You can go back and you can FOIL and check your work. It's not required, but it's not a bad idea. There's a couple problems at the bottom of the PDF for you to try with the answers attached on the next page. If you have any questions, like always, please feel free to contact me.